Well, Iran's foreign ministry has made a series of statements saying that Iran has capacities to expand this war, but that it does not wish to do so. The foreign minister also said Iran is willing to go back to nuclear talks. Joining me on the set from our news desk is Shirley Sitbon. Hello to you, Shirley.
Hello.
Some interesting declarations here. Can you take us through a bit of what he had to say?
Yes, and it gives us, the idea of what the Iranian officials could do. While we're getting so much information about what's happening on the ground from various areas, I mean, from minute to minute, we're learning things. For example, just now, Iran said that 2 members of Israel's intelligence agency, Mossad, were arrested in the country. So various elements coming in. So what he said, as you've just said, he showed at the time that he shows that Iran has the capacity to intensify its response, its attacks on Israel in this war Israel has launched on Friday. But he also says that, yes, this can stop now. So it's important for Iran. This is really a matter of self-defense. And also when he talks about the talks, as you've said, Iran's foreign minister said that Iran is ready to go back to talks right now, to negotiations. It's ready also to for a deal which will not allow it to have nuclear weapons. That's what he said. And well, we can wonder what that means exactly, but let's start by listening to what he said earlier about Iran and its right to defend itself.
Self-defense is a recognized principle in international relations. It is the legitimate right of every country to defend itself against aggression, and this is exactly what our armed forces began doing 2 nights ago. Last night, you witnessed new dimensions of this response, and it will continue.
With also the foreign minister saying that he doesn't want to see necessarily this war expanding to other countries, which is also something that everyone fears an escalation. At the same time, when you look at what he said about negotiations about the nuclear program, he says, yes, we're against nuclear weapons by principle. Of course, we agree to a deal. Now, that could be reassuring, but in fact, that's what Iran has been saying for years, although we know they have the capacity to produce nuclear weapons. So yes, reassuring statements, but what lies behind them is not very clear. So on both sides, we're really, this conflict can go in various ways, with everyone not exactly knowing what the other country's intentions are. So yes, with various players, everyone trying from the outside to de-escalate this and trying to see how this can end with as little damage as possible and as little deaths as possible as well.
Yeah, and despite those calls for de-escalation, Israel shows no signs of backing down. What have its political and military officials been saying?
Yes, and we've heard this morning, and we've heard of strikes across the country in this 3rd day now of war. And now, like we've heard our correspondent say, Israel has tweeted, the army has tweeted in Farsi about the fact that Iranians who live next to to military facilities, to missile launchers, current ones or future ones, they say in the tweet, they should leave the area. But as our correspondent said, Iranians are not all seeing those messages, so not necessarily that effective. I'm not sure how much the Israelis know about this, because in the Israeli media, they're saying that Iranians know this. They know they have to leave the area, when in fact, when you talk to Iranians, they don't necessarily know this. Now, many are wondering what the Israelis want exactly, because the idea for Benjamin Netanyahu, the Israeli prime minister, was to eliminate the threats coming in from Iran, nuclear, also the missiles. In recent months, of course, Iran's proxies, Hezbollah, has been weakened in the wars. But Israel, everyone knows, Israel admits that it doesn't have the capacity to destroy Iran's nuclear program. We talked about this yesterday. It's deep into the ground. It doesn't have the weapons to destroy. The U.S. does. Netanyahu would like the Americans undoubtedly to join this war and to destroy the nuclear weapons. That's what he's been hinting to, but the Americans not going in that direction at all. And, well, many are saying, well, the Israelis should maybe just Well, Israelis are saying, well, let's topple the regime. That's not any easier to do. Meanwhile, others are saying, well, let's just hope that what happened now, that since Iran has been hit in strategic areas, that now lines can shift on the nuclear deal, that talks can resume as soon as possible. Another thing that's being said in Israel is, well, since you're saying that all our energy should be focused in this war, the Israeli government says this is the priority now and not Gaza. Well, let's use this to end Gaza at last. That's what all of those pushing to end the war in Gaza are saying now, saying, yes, we have a very significant war with Iran. Let's focus on this. Let's end Gaza now. It's not leading anywhere. Hamas has been weakened. Let's end this, have the hostages released, and leave the area.
All right, Shirley. Thank you very much, Shirley Sitbon from our news desk.